Nepal is one of the most beautiful places on earth. I love the people. I was born here, so not just the fact that, but I've seen quite a few parts of the world, and still for me Nepal is one of the best places I've ever been to.
Happiness for everybody. Basically, geographically, we're located in between India and China. So it's a very small country, but we have a lot of culture, a lot of different ethnic groups of people, a lot of everything. We start from the mountains and go all the way to the flat regions. So in this tiny, small space, you get like pretty much everything. Nepal has like a very unique relationship with rock music, especially with places like Freak Street, because it was sort of discovered by the hippies back in the 60s, 70s, like the hippies, fifth hippie time. And Freak Street was like the sort of place where it all began. And we also have rumors of like Jimi Hendrix coming in that time, visiting those places, going to Mustang and riding Purple Haze. And we know some guys who say that who hung out with Jimi Hendrix. The Western culture came in, people got a little bit taste of rock and roll and the music, and people fell in love with that. And you can see it every night when you go out in the streets. There's so much music. There's live music everywhere. We started Underside back in 2010, but we had not played a show until 11. That was like official date of us starting. The name comes from being where we are, the part of the world we are. We are from the underside of the planet, and we truly believe it. It's a different world. It's a third world country, underdeveloped. So yeah, that's how the name came about. I've been playing music for a long time before that. I started my band when I was like 13, 14. In high school, and since then but Underside was the solid thing that happened in my life that I felt driven to work towards and give more of myself, and we've been working like crazy since the day we started. Growing up in Kathmandu, being in a metal band, it was not easy. It was considered like a horrible thing to be, if your parents, it was so stereotyped. If your son is carrying a guitar and he has a long hair, that means you're the worst in the society. That's the kind of concept that was back then. I think it still is to a certain level. It has changed a little bit, but it was insane. We had no outlet to instruments. It was very expensive, or we couldn't buy it. I remember carrying like amps from this part of the town, from my home to Zawlakel, which is like, because it was strike days, it was the Maoist time, so it was strikes and it was closed, and we wanted to practice. So I'd carry amp and walk like 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers with my amp and my bands, like, because I'm helping my guitarist carry his amp, and go to their house and like jam all day because we had holidays. Schools were out because of the whole war thing going on. So yeah, it was not easy. It was definitely not easy. We didn't have much access. We had very less or close to no promoters, no one telling us how things work. We had no idea. We were just a bunch of kids playing music. So it was, and the cops hated us. So man, the cops fucking hated us. Like, so if you go into the street and look like how I look now and like walk after 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. in that time, they just like put you in. They just like take you in, put you in the slammer. They came and stopped the metal shows. It was not easy, man. It was like, it was so against everything that was happening in the country to be in a band. So it was really difficult. But it was, I guess, that what makes it so special for us, and like, yeah, that makes us more valuable and like more worth it, and that makes the bond so much stronger in the band or the community.
The Silence Festival began in 2010, and I think that was, I would say, a beginning of a golden era for a metal community in Nepal. Over the last 8 years, we have hosted Behemoth, Textures, Sixth, 12 Foot Ninja, Cancer Bats.
Everybody at the festival just seemed like they were having the best time.
Throw your hands in the fucking air right now.
They were excited to watch every band, like from band 1 to band whatever, 10 we are, whatever number, however many bands. There was a circle pit, and it's like a joy in the air or something like that. Like everyone, despite any circumstance or anything, everyone's just having a great time, and it's really infectious.
The amazing thing about rolling up to Silence Fest and like kind of learning about the history of it and sort of the whole vibe that these guys have, and by these guys I mean Underside, was basically dudes who are from Kathmandu who were super into metal and felt like there was something lacking in the scene, so they decided to basically do something about it, and they started a band, and they basically like put together this festival, and they started just bringing their favorite bands. Like they were just like inviting bands and being like, we want you to come to our festival, and ensuring that they have a good time and like ensuring that the festival is like amazing.
Yeah, we thought it's like some Nepalese amateur metal band, something small or anything. Well, they're ripping that. I mean, that's professional level for sure.
It's kind of inspiring to come and play after playing so many big festivals, then come back to a place where people are just like hustling super hard, and you see it, you know. They're picking you up at the airport and, you know, running the whole festival.
We do face a lot of challenges here to conduct a metal festival in Nepal, but we're pure DIY guys, you know, so we make things happen. This is the first year we did not have a police intervention, and that's like a miracle, you know. I think our determination is much bigger than the challenges we face on a yearly basis.
In 2015, everything changed. We were hit by a major earthquake on a Saturday afternoon, and it sort of destroyed a lot of major things in the country and turned people's life upside down. In the cities, we lost so many lives. We lost so many of our heritage sites, and it was something that really dragged us down as a nation. We had just finished our show in Underworld, England, and everyone was back home except for me and my manager. I get a call from my girlfriend in the morning, and she starts crying, and like I could not like understand what was going on. She's like, there's a huge earthquake, and then the phone was gone. And that was it for the next 24 hours. We just couldn't sit around. We knew we had to get involved. We knew we had to do something. So the first thing on our mind was we saw a guitar, we picked that up, we made a sign, just went to Trafalgar Square and started busking and like started a post on Facebook explaining about the whole situation and like if they want to help, because our guys were back home ready to work. So we were able to raise around $7,000–8,000 in the first week from that alone, and like send all the money here. That immediately went to the ground the very next day in relief packages, food, supplies, oil, salt, basic stuff, just like packages for families. And our friends from Enigmatic, Guido, Ben, they started No Silence for Nepal. We had just finished tour with our friends from Voice of Ruin, so they started this thing called Metal for Nepal. So it's like a series of shows that you can do anywhere in the world and just send the money you raise from that show back to them, and they would get it here to us where we would use it for the right things. Our friends' metal communities, they started this and it sort of like went into a snowball effect, and it started to get so big, and they raised a substantial amount of money, and we were able to help 306 families to build temporary houses in Gorkha, Kirabari, in a small village, and we still go there till this day. We're back here in Gorkha, in Kirabari, after 2015, the follow-up for the Metal for Nepal initiation and No Silence for Nepal initiation. It's been a few years, but it's good to see that what we did here back in those days helped out a lot of people. And I can see a lot of things have been built, like the school was not here. This was the base camp, this is where we worked from. This is from this place we distributed all the CGI sheets and all the equipment and stuff like that. So I don't know if we can go inside. It's so cool that the metal community from all over the world stood up. There were bands from, even I don't know, I've never heard of them in some part of the world, like America or Brazil or England, Germany, doing this. So it's like, we have a rule that if someone falls in the pit in the metal community, we pick them up, we don't kick them in the teeth. So that's what happened. Everyone came in and they helped us. So that was such a great thing that brought this whole thing together and shows the strength in the community.
What do you guys have planned tomorrow night? Nothing? Nothing? We're coming here tomorrow to play the basement. We're going to play a Black Sabbath cover set tomorrow night. You motherfuckers want to play some Sabbath with us tomorrow? Many hails! Many hails to those true lords of metal who join us here tonight in the holy hail of our true lords, Black Sabbath!
Metal means so much to kids here because I think we can perfectly relate it to every day we live it. You know, I think this place is so metal. Nepal, if you come here, if you see the city, how crazy, how wild it is, all the shit that happens here, how much we hate the government, or like all the rebellion, all the anger, I think it's pretty much the same everywhere, but here it's like so visible. You can see it, you can taste it, you know, you can feel it in the air that kids need an outlet. So metal music, the metal shows is something that where they can come and be themselves, go crazy, and like, you know.
Whenever I was a kid, when I listened to Rage Against the Machine, then I used to feel hyped up because our country was also in the same condition and still is in the same condition. And for me, like, Rage Against the Machine is not only a band, it's a moment. And that's why we formed like a band with the message, not for only entertainment stuff and all. In Nepali, chakachak means hope, a positive form of energy. The youth doesn't talk about politics anymore. They're just like they are ignoring these things which are very important for the country. And our country is like fucked up right now here. The government is like not thinking about people, not listening to their voices. And when I always listen to Rage Against the Machine, like, it gives me some energy to like fight back. So we decided we'll bring kids, people in our shows and like give them music, a proper music, a brutal one, plus with message they will take back home, and like which will like help a little bit in the change for the country.
Alright, okay, I'm so glad to be performing with you guys. See you next time. Keep silent!
With Underside, what we say is we are not a Nepali band, but we are a band from Nepal. So basically what I mean by that is we want to go out there in the world. We want our voices to be heard. We want to represent this country. We want to show our culture. We want the people to know that metal exists, and we want to be part of the bigger community. So with this new record and this new sound, the direction that we've taken, it's more about collaborating all our culture through like different instruments or like stage productions or through lyrics, and tell our stories about the war or how people have gone through and what kind of help maybe we can get from the metal community. So it's an exciting time for us, and we are really, really looking forward to show this to the world.
We're playing Download Festival in 2019, and that's probably one of the biggest things the entire Nepali metal community has ever got, you know.
When the news came out that we were announced for Download Festival, it was a really big deal in this country. Because I get it that so many bands come in and play, like any band from any part of the world, in Europe or anywhere. For them, like, it's like, meh, okay. But no, for us here, it was like winning a big fight, not just for us, but everyone that has been following us. It was a big, big deal. Even the national news got in on it, like covered that these guys are playing Download Festival. It's a big feat for us to be able to get there on that bill, on that lineup. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. Metal is a really, really powerful thing, and I've seen it and I've felt it, and I can see it every day how it brings people together. From just this festival, we have so many people from all over the world come in. They experience it, they help each other, they share, they teach, they learn. So it is something that I'm very proud of, and to be a part of this community, and it's a very strong bond.
It's so important to see beyond the way we appear and the way we scream and the way these kids, you know, mosh pit with each other. And as much as it looks like something scary and something people don't understand, once you go there, you go into a pit and you will find a family there, you know what I mean? And that is so rare, and I don't think any other genre of music can offer that sort of closeness to almost everybody who is part of the show, you know? And that's what I feel very proud about, you know, and also Dig Metal Festival in Nepal. I think me and my team, we almost provide that platform for people to come and expand their family, and that's such a beautiful thing on many levels.
You guys are the reason we're doing this. You guys are the fucking family. We won't let our voices be unheard. Make some fucking noise!
This is the end, my friend. Piece by piece we fall when someone you defend throws you down.